Good morning to you guys. This is Eric VM Holy Soy. I am coming at you live from alongside the S&P pits here at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Just right, you hear that little roar in the background. Yeah, you know it. We are definitely seeing the trade on a beautiful Monday morning. It's cold here in Chicago. You know it is. I hope it's a little bit warmer where you're at than where it is here, man. Woke up this morning, it was 33 degrees, and that is that is not centigrade, my friends. No, that is Fahrenheit. It has been a chilly weekend. So let's go ahead and let's talk about it really right quick, fast, and in a hurry, guys. It's at 8:10. I did get a little late start. I have been here for almost 45 minutes for you, but yeah, I talked offline with some of my subscribers about some of the things that they would like to see first. So let's just go ahead and do it. We're gonna. I do want to bring to your attention that we are seeing that crude with an offer this morning, guys. First time in a while we've seen that crude on a decent offer, overlapping price activity lower in the morning session. So we are currently seeing that crude off those recent highs. Unable in the overnight session, we tried to touch up into the 70s again. We did get a high of the 69.83s and are starting to come back off. So I do want to bring that to your attention, and give you something to keep in mind, right, as the trading day progresses. Let's see here. Let's take a look at the ES first thing. First. Guys, actually, let's not do just the ES. Let's look at these larger charts here. I'm going to go back into a 5-minute chart on all of them, and we'll just talk about it real quick. Guys, what do we see here in the overnight session? I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. There you go. Now we can see it a little bit better. Guys, look at those three blue circles. Those are kind of aqua circles that I put on there. And guys, we had in the overnight session, we're just talking about Thursday lows, right? And Friday lows. We talked about initiative out of balance. Thursday and Friday lows, initiative out of balance to the downside on the ES, on the NASDAQ, and on that and our good friends the Russell, guys. Russell saw actually sustained trade lower in the regular trading hours. We didn't get that until the open on the ES and the NASDAQ. That's why the circle is it's more of an oval at this point. Is more better defined and much larger on the Russell, is because we did see overlapping price rotation lower on the Russell. But guys, I do want to bring to your attention that we are that we did see initiative out of balance and see that initiative out of balance fail. Now it's also important that that I highlight for us that we have seen. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of do a little bit of a fat cran here on that, talking about basically Thursday. After that quick selling that we saw Thursday, we've seen kind of overlapping price activity here. Seen one full rotation on that ES, and then tried initiative out of balance back up into the middle of that area, balance just at about 7 about 7 o'clock this morning. As we saw that pop up, we saw selling start to come back in, guys, and that selling has been associated with the middle of that area balance. Same thing here. We didn't even get quite to it on the NASDAQ, but we've seen selling come back in, guys, on the 5-minute time frame. We have seen overlapping rotation. Now, I don't know. I can't tell you. I wish I could predict the future and let you know what's going to happen. I can tell you what I think is going to happen. I think the 74 half that we just traded, I think that's going to be a key area here. I think that this 71, 48, 50 down to perhaps the 44s. I'd love to see a spike through it on both of those and trade back up. That would be a price pattern that we're looking for at a key area on the 5-minute time frame. Now, guys, there's no guarantee that that's going to happen, but I think it's worth a shot here to see if we can find any continuation to the upside, because if we do get through those 7180s on the ES, I think that the bias does change. After we failed that initiative out of balance and trade back up through the middle, I think that we're going to likely balance them up in the upper extreme. We're talking about the from the 39s, 72 39s to the 7180s. If we do not, guys, find a rotation back up and we continue lower, guys, target is clearly Friday's overnight low. So we're talking about 70.93s, guys. That's another 50 points lower, and that would put us actually negative on the day in the NASDAQ. Lows of the day are targeted as well here on the ES if we do not find some support at this level and trade back up through the 81s. So at this point, it's a shot in the dark. The larger bias is clearly to the downside on all of these majors. And every time we've gotten up into the middle of an area of balance or below it, even below it, guys, we have seen selling come in. However, for the first time in a while, I actually have some hope here for the ES to the upside with that failed initiative out of balance to the downside in the overnight session. Let's go ahead and let's zoom all these charts, and actually, of course, let's talk about the YM. YM was unable to. In selling, was unable to see anything initiative out of balance to the downside below Thursday's lows, and is actually above the middle of that area of balance. So that is, I do want to bring to your attention that YM is playing a completely different ball game and hanging them up in the upper half of this area of balance, unlike all these other majors that are either at below the midpoint of that previous area of balance, or completely initiative out of balance again to the downside. So yeah, it's something that I do want to bring to your attention. Something I think is worth looking at, guys, is how this trade is behaving here at the 2775s. Let's take a look. I do have a specific request for looking at a 3-minute chart on the ES in the overnight session. So let's get this zoomed in here, and I'm gonna go full screen for you so you guys can see it. All right, so this was the close, guys. The close, we did see some selling come in off this 78 high. Did see it close all the way down, guys. Did see it close. Did see trade down into the 64s, and then we closed them up. Right here, we actually spiked down, or we gapped down, guys. We gapped down and saw some pretty decent selling come in. We saw an area of balance from the 60s, let's call it the 60s, all the way down into the 53 quarters. We saw another area of balance put in on the lows. Definitely at this point, you have to be thinking that we're talking about with this new area of balance lower, guys. After a gap down, you have to be thinking that we're thinking even lower on the day at this point. Full area of balance, and we'd be looking to sell the middle of that area of balance, guys. Middle of that previous area of balance that we put in here, from the 60s to the 53 quarters. As we saw initiative out of that, guys, trade back up. That is that's a second area of balance, initiative out of a second area of balance higher, and we did see a third area, a fourth area, a fifth area of balance form in the overnight session. Form higher without any tests of anything lower, guys. And then I do have to say that this gets a little ugly here. I'm not even gonna lie. We can say that we invalidated if you want to. you can say that we can go ahead and get rid of this, right? Let's go ahead and get rid of that larger box. We did see initiative out of balance again, up a little bit higher on the 5-minute time frame, and then you can say that, right? Looking back at it, you can say that spike up was nothing, and then we come down into below key areas? Yeah, you bet we did. So would it have been hard to hold that trade at this point with that rotation down, back up, and then actually trying initiative out of balance to the downside again? Yeah, you bet it would have. It would have been very, very difficult to hold that. Then we saw, so first area balance was second is unsure, right? And then we came back up and went up through to the middle of that previous area balance. But at this point, guys, we've seen 1, 2, forming a third area balance lower here on the 5-minute time frame. It's turning into Chop City, guys. Chop City. So I definitely want to bring to your attention that we've seen fairly significant chop trade, enough to worry us out of a long lean after those lows. But we are into that key area down the 74s again, guys. Down in the 74s, we're talking about 75 halves and 75s trading. So 75 halves and 75. So we are at a key area, I think, right here, and my hope is that we see continuation back up and up through those 82s and 85s, guys. 85s are a key area for me, just because you know that we talked about the 85s on Friday. But yeah, it would have been a very, very difficult trade here in the overnight session. You could have gotten a couple, after that. So we've seen 1, 2 invalidating, right? The second invalidates, so we can say, so if you got along somewhere in here, you can look at some trade higher, right? I mean, we're not talking about a lot, we're talking about lower extreme, and then so 73s off of, let's just say here, the 64s. You could have had some sort of profits, 8-10 points of profits, but it was not an easy trade to hold, especially as he came back down through first and second and took it out and tried initiative lower. It would have been a much riskier trade to hold at that point after that invalidation. So guys, that is what we are seeing. That's what we are seeing here in the overnight session, and I'm glad to see that we're trading 6 quarters and 6 halves right now. It's nice to see that little bid come back in. We'll see if we can get any continuation, any rotation back up. But guys, remember, I do think, and I think you should think too, is that we are in the upper half of this previous area balance, this fat cran area balance that we put in here on the YM. We're in the upper half of that, guys. Big difference in being in below the middle of that previous area balance on the ES and the NASDAQ, and completely initiative out of balance to the downside on and not testing. And that's actually another key point, is we have yet to test that 1555 spot 9 on the Russell. Even that lower extreme is yet to be tested. So I think that those are, we're in 3 different worlds here, guys. NASDAQ and ES are bit off those lows, but oh shoot, oopsies. Sorry about that, guys. That was a little confusing for me. I didn't know what the heck was going on. So yeah, but yeah, we are bit off those lows in the ES and and on the Nasdaq, but not above the middle of that previous area balance. And we are above on the YM. That Russell is a stick in the mud, if you know what I'm saying. So guys, we have 4 minutes and 36 seconds left until the start of the trading day. I do think that the over/under for the day is the 85. Well, as first is 82, and then really the 85 is a key area that we're going to be looking at all day. But I think that 85 is quite the area that we need to be paying attention to here in the ES. On the shortest term time frame, I think that a long right here is a doable, is a practicable solution to a first trade, with stop below that previous swing down into that 4.5. So I think that we're looking at 2.5 points here, and hoping that we see buying come in here on the open. If it doesn't, then we'll know right away, and we're talking about 2.5 points of risk now that we're seeing some support. You know, something actually a key area on the 5-minute time frame acting as support in the ES and in the Nasdaq and in the YM and the Dow. So Russell is in a world of its own, though, like we did talk about that. So I do hope that this has been informative. I hope that if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'd love to answer anything that you have, and yeah, you guys are who fuels the fire. You guys are the ones that keep me going. They keep me doing this every moment I possibly can, because I'm here for you. So guys, just to let you know, this is definitely an interesting trading day, guys. Pit population is pretty good, actually, considering it's a Monday morning, and considering that overnight trade that we saw. Guys, pit population is pretty darn good still. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on it for you today, and we'll be bringing the trade to you live from here from the floor. So I do want to say thank you to each and every one of you guys, and let you know that this trading day is for you. We're having some technical difficulties with the trade, with the yeah, there it is. Okay, so with the bid and ask for the E-minis here right outside the pit, they're getting it fixed right now. But yeah, so yeah, I do think that I do hope that this 5-minute bid that we have seen come in off the overnight session back up in the middle of the area balance does continue today. We did hit resistance at a key area, though. Did hit resistance at a key area. All right, guys, that concludes Chart Talk for this morning. We're gonna have the pit open for you in just 1 minute. So for those of you guys who are, I do hope that you guys enjoy it.